Hi, it's Handy Mandy from Handy Mandy TV, and this week we'll be doing some zipper jewelry, more specifically some bracelets, because I don't have any zippers that are long enough, per se, for the very dramatic draped ones I would be showing you at the end of this video, which are really, really awesome. So the first thing you're going to need are zippers. So I have a whole pile here, different colors and lengths and widths, and the thing you want to consider is if it's a separating zipper, there is a really nice zipper necklace, very simple. I will put the link below. And just make sure it's metal, because that's the whole look we're going for. If it's plastic, it's not, well, it's okay, but I think the metal's going to look a little bit more jewelry than plastic. Plastic kind of just looks like it's crafts, if you kind of get my drift. You're also going to need measuring tape, depending on whether or not it's one of those wraparound ones, so which is the one I'm going to be doing today. Because the other one that I did for practice is it's fixed, so I wrap it around my wrist, and it's closed with buttons and some elastic. So if it's wrapped, you don't need to worry about measuring your wrist. If you are going to measure, pull your thumb in and measure the greatest part of your hand, because that's where your bracelet is going to have to go over to get on your wrist. You're also going to need scissors. If you're doing the practice one, you may need some pliers to take off some of the zipper teeth, because if you try to like fold it under, because the zipper will make it bend and it won't lie flat, so you might need to take the teeth off. This project you're going to need a little jewelry clip. I'll show you guys this. So it looks like this. So you can get those sometimes at the dollar store, Walmart. I don't know if they're going to be a sewing place, but if someplace, Michael's, because they have a lot of beads for jewelry, they're going to have like the little pieces. I am just using some old jewelry because we did go to the Dollarama today and we did not see any of those flip clips, so I'm just going to use some old jewelry that I don't plan on using again. So like I said, if it's not a wrap one like we're doing in this project, you're going to need buttons. And instead of making buttonholes, get some elastic. And you're going to need matching thread. So I'm using this navy, for this navy zipper, which I'm going to use for this project today. You're also going to need some needles. And the directions I found online require also a lighter, or you can use a candle, which of course is going to need a lighter anyway. So also I am going to use a glue gun, which is $3.94, $3.97 or something at Walmart, and there's a 100 pack of glue sticks, so then you can use it for later, and this is about $7. And then I'm just going to use a towel to lay the zipper on, because it's really hot and it has to rest for a little bit. So let's see. So if you're doing the button closure, when you do your elastic, because it stretches, take your button and measure half to 2/3. Well, half should do it, but 2/3 of the width of the button, and then pinch it with your fingers and try to wrap it around it. If it needs more or less, then you can accommodate. Put a pin through it, sew it to your other end for your closure. I would highly recommend having it crisscross instead of laying on top, because when it goes like this, when you're trying to button it up, the closure ends they don't match up because they're twisted by the elastic. So one thing I learned is, if you're going to do it that way, make sure you lay it kind of like this versus on top of each other. So lay it crossing versus on top of each other like I did. So the ends will match up instead of twisting. So some of the stuff that I did, there's a couple different ways to do it. This used to be a zipper about this length. So what I did was I measured my wrist, and then I took and added an inch, and then I measured from where it starts at the pull, and there were like two pieces that I put side by side, and there was a little leftover. So then I tore those apart. I took off the teeth, 1/2 inch on both ends of all my pieces, and then I layered them here in the middle, and I opened up the zipper, and then I put the zipper tape next to each other. And everything's hand sewn, so it's kind of really crafty, so I'm hoping that this one will turn out a little bit better. Alright, so I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to start cutting really close to the tape, and I'm going to make sure that everything, okay, this could be a little difficult. So I'm going to open my zipper first. Cut really close to the tape. And don't worry, because we're going to use the lighter to singe the fabric so it doesn't fray. So cut as close as possible. Onto the other side. I'm going to close it. It's kind of going to look like this. So as you can see, it's blue on the one side and it's metal on the other side. So I have the option of whether or not I want it to look a different color. So it's going to look like this once it's wrapped around my wrist. And there it is. There's just my zipper, which is totally awesome. Alright, so now to run this sucker over a flame to singe the fabric. Alright, just going to move everything aside, bring my towel up here. A little bit hot. So if you can see that, this is where it hasn't been burned, and as you can see, the fabric's getting darker because it's been singed. So I just put my closure on from the bracelet, and here it is. Ta-da! You know, you can still see the glue, but I can always just flip everything around so that I can see the silver part versus the navy, but you know. So now I can add some charms on here, maybe get like a couple of bracelets going at once and just layer and mix them all, so I'm very excited. So I will put some more links below on some other very inspirational zipper jewelry if you guys want to try that out. If you guys want me to do more different variations, different instructions, feel free to leave comments, requests in the comments. And I started Pinterest, so I will put the link below to the main page and the link below to the recycled ones, which have a whole bunch of the zipper jewelry, so check it out. I'll see you next week.